There it is. Now I can see. Jeez Louise, you think I'd be able to do this? Hi, Sue. Is it Sue? No, I cannot see that. Is it Sus? That's Moline. Great. There's Cheryl. Hey, how are you? Howdy. I've even got my Santa Claus hat on here. Let's see if you can see it. My beard's gone crazy, so I got me a Santa Claus hat. A modern take on Santa Claus. That's what I call it. It's Sue. I cannot see that on the screen. Good. Alrighty. Let's paint a little bit. Good to see you guys. Hope everybody's well out there in internet land. Taking precautions, staying home, being well, and taking care of yourself. Alright, get a sip of my tea here. Hey, Chris from New York. No snow today for us. No snow. It doesn't look like the rest of the week. I would imagine we got our last snow of the year already, so we don't get enough snow for my liking here. Alright. So I've got, as you can see, the last time I streamed, I didn't have my big easel built. This thing is fairly nice. I'm going to turn around so you guys can see the screen or the canvas more than me. You don't need to look at me. Alright, and I meant to, I forgot, go ahead and put liquid white on my canvas. But I didn't. I gotta do that. And turn it up. There's my jug of Bob Ross liquid white magic elixir for your canvas. It'll heal all your ailments and all kinds of stuff. Don't eat the stuff though. Only for your canvas. It looks tasty, but it's not. And I'm lazy, so I just grabbed a script on her in there. Stirred my paint up. Not like I don't have any paint stirrers laying around somewhere. Alright. Take this one maybe. You get snow tomorrow? That's great. Any clues to your subject? Well, yeah, I think I put a picture out. It's just a very simple painting. Nothing too extravagant tonight. I just wanted to paint something and see how this would work. I was going to do it on YouTube, but I'm going to wait just a little bit. I'm still waiting on some lighting and things. Everything's kind of delayed with buying things from Amazon to get the delays and things now. So I'm just going to take some of that liquid white, a very thin coat all over the canvas. Just cover that canvas. You can use those big 8 strokes, figure 8 strokes like that, or you can just kind of rub it in like this. Either way, Bob don't care. Bob wouldn't care. As long as you're painting, Bob would be happy. As long as you're painting with me, I'm happy. How about that? If you can't hear me, tell me to speak up, yell at me, throw something at me. You know, don't throw it at your screen, I'll not break your TV. Always check. Always check. Always check. Oh, right there's a little dry. A little bit more. This, to me, is the worst part of painting. There's nothing worse than having to spend time putting white paint on a white canvas. But it does make your life a lot easier as you start to paint. There's Doug. Hey, Doug, how are you? Good to see you here, buddy. I'm a little late. I told you I was going to try to do one on Saturday, but didn't get to it. Other things came up. Hope you're okay. And then just take your breath and go. One thing we're working on the easel here. It's noisy at times, but it works really good. And way to go up and down, splatter it on your wall, on your shoes, on your pants, whatever. Won't hurt anything. Doop, doop, yeah. Doop, doop. Yep, that's about what I want. Okay? It's a little heavy right up there. One little trick I would tell you, I'm gonna grab my rag. I have a rag here somewhere. One little trick I would tell you is if you're ever worried about putting too much, you can always go really light if you're going to have a big mountain here. So if you don't have hardly any here, that's great. Because the less paint you have there, the less work you have to do trying to get that snow to stick. A little bit up there. Okay. All right. Most boring part is done. Hey, Shelly, how are you? Lonnie and Alan. Good to see you guys. Snow there tomorrow. Wow. I'm envious. All right. I even got my palette out to use even, so we can see the colors: titanium white, phthalo blue, Prussian blue, and then I think that's mountain mix and alizarin crimson. That's all I should need. If I need a little black, I've got some laying out over here. I can squirt out. This is actually just a painting that I typically do like in a little hobby class, but I just wanted to paint it because the colors, the blue and the red, I don't know, they remind me of Christmas and cold, so we'll see what we can do. All right, I'm going to take some crimson now, and I'm going to just sneak up there and use this big brush I used to put the liquid white on. I'll take that brush and just kind of smack it. Make some noise for you guys on the camera there. Somewhere in here, let's put some color. It don't matter. No different shade. Maybe let it meander up into there. There we go. And that should do it right there. Maybe. If you want it stronger than mine, go back over it. Reload the brush, go back over it. I don't want it strong. Well, maybe. What are we going to? I'll just kind of meander here and there. Throw a little bit on this corner here. And then take your brush and go side to side. And let's throw a little bit in some water in case we have some water here. And we can figure out where that water and that land meet here later. Make that a little brighter in our water. There we go. But side to side, straight across. Don't go like that. Don't go like this. Go. And just go like that. Okay, that's probably good enough for that. All right, we didn't set the sky on fire yet, but we may. All right, so let's put some glue up here. I don't even know why I put phthalo blue out, because when I painted this one, I always like to use Prussian blue. It's just a stronger blue, it's a prettier blue, it's just colder to me or something. I'm going to sneak up here. I'm going to get a little bit. And remember, you can start with less and add. It'll be a heck son of a gun to take it back off the canvas. Alright, here we go. Put some blue all the way across here. Just kind of let that, figure out where you want that paint to just kind of mix together and then stop. I may want my blue a little stronger actually, so I'll get another little bit on my... Oh, there we go. That's what I wanted, especially up in that corner. Especially up in that corner. Don't be worried about what it looks like now. I always think these two colors look great when you're done, but they look like... Well, to be honest, they look like crap when you're painting them. Just to me, they do. Alright, there we go. And we did some crimson down here for water. We better do some down here. Some blue, some Prussian blue. And I'm going to start up in my pink. But I'm not going to pull all the way across. I'm just going to fit right on the edges of the pink. And then when I get down here, I can really start pulling that pink. See how it kind of stair steps up there. Gradually, like that. Again, this is a beginner Ross, I guess you would call it. Be great for anybody that hasn't painted a lot of these. And the colors are pretty too. Just pulling that paint. I've been planting a lot of plants and trees and things. My hand's tired. My hands are cramping on me. Alright. If I drop a brush, I'll pick it up, won't I? Alright, I think that'll do for me. Very bright, very bright. And it looks like, it looks awful right now. Hey Chris, how are you? I've got some cinnamon apple honey tea or something. I don't know what that is. I'm gonna go to a clean brush now, a clean 2-inch brush, and I'm just lightly here, just gonna tickle this a little bit. I don't want to see any big brush strokes, and then I'm gonna work my way up. Work my way up into the blue, just like this. I want those. I don't want to see where that blue and that red, you know, their definitive line there where they meet. You kind of want to get rid of it, and then we'll just kind of work that paint up here. However soft you want it, and then maybe just lightly, even if you're careful there, you can even do that. Something like that. Yeah, that'll work. Now the only thing I'm noticing, I've got an extra brush here. I've got a big mountain here. I'm not gonna have much pink. I'm gonna take a little 1-inch and try to do something. I'm gonna sneak a little bit of color back up in here. Yeah, that should work. That should work. Something like that. There we go. Now I have a little bit more glow back behind the mountain. And then I can soften that in and push that down in a little bit. And then down here, when you do the same thing to our water, right? A lot of this water gets covered up, so it's not a huge deal. Not a huge deal at all. Set my 82 brushes to the side. Grab a clean fan brush. Back in the paint again. I don't think he's saying that. Alright. I'm going to take some titanium white. And my titanium white is really thick because I laid this out 2 days ago. And it is just dried up. So what I may need to do on mine, grab me just a touch of liquid white. And just thin it down just a little bit. Just a little bit. Sorry for the glare on the palette there. Hey Sarah. You can paint this one with your eyes closed. This is nothing spectacular, nothing fancy tonight. Colors are nice. Yeah, I like these colors. I like these. Alright, now we need some clouds. We need some little clouds. Let's, where do we want a cloud? Graham, where do we want it? Let's start one right here. And just some little circular strokes, pulling that paint, moving it around, okay? And then keep your brush handy, and I'm going to use the 2-inch, you can use a 1-inch, same thing. And just kind of blend out that bottom. Try not to drag too much more blue down into your red. Something like that, get rid of that. We'll put a few clouds in here, I like clouds. Alright, now I tell you what, let's do this. Let's make this one kind of wrap around or something. Something like that. Blend that out. Just don't stay in the same spot. Just keep your brush moving. A cloud can look like just about anything. Go outside. You've seen the weird clouds in the sky before. You can have weird clouds on your painting. They may not be as appealing though. So just watch what you're kind of trying to paint. Yeah, maybe there's another one here, and it's just a wild one. Just kind of growing. Uh-oh, look at that. I pulled some blue down. I'm really going to let that bother me because that's going to go behind my mountain. And just stir these up. I'm going to take off my Santa hat, burn me up. Alright, I'm going to just kind of get rid of that. I'm not going to fluff the tops of them like Bob does. Just a personal preference. And maybe one more on the other side. Maybe one more. Or maybe we'll beef this guy up right here. Probably won't see it too much. Maybe there's a little guy here. Kind of pushing that paint in there. Just like that. Clouds are easy to do if you don't worry about them. If you're worried about them, they're one of the hardest things to do. You tinker with them and mess with them. And usually your mountain can cover, see like that little area I don't like, but I know a mountain's going to cover it, so no big deal. Alright. Yeah, I'm usually lazy, sir. I don't like to hold the thing. Especially if I got a lot of paint on it. I have a palette cam, I just don't have everything set up the way I want to yet. Alright, grab my knife, what do I do with it? Let's see if I missed any. I've found your preview finally. We'll be here to watch you do the mountains. Well, we're getting ready to. We're getting ready to do a mountain. Alright, got enough clouds on there. And again, you can always go back and brighten those clouds up. Just a little extra paint on the tops. I'm fine with that. It's a little more subdued. Got my knife. I want to take a little bit of phthalo blue. I'll use a little bit of that since I put it out. I don't want it to feel bad, so. And then I'll grab some Prussian blue, maybe a touch, just a touch of mountain mix, and mix those three together in about the same equal parts. Just about the same. Very blue still. You can probably just use one of the blues. And then I may, now let's just see if this works okay. I may put a little bit of white in there. And this may be where I wanted my black. Just to kind of tone that blue down. That'd be okay. Maybe just a touch more white. Make it a mountain color, mountain base color. You could use any of these colors by themselves, or you could use, Bob Ross's mountain mix, whatever. Any of those things will work. I put a little bit more mountain mix in mine. I'm going to take that now. I'm going to take that and I'm going to cut it right across it. And you get that. I got a huge roll of paint. I'm going to not use that much. But I wanted you to see it on the camera there, if you can. That is literally a little roll of paint. And that's a bigger roll than I need. So I'm going to put that back down and put my knife in there and just go and get me a little smaller roll. Okay? Alright. Somewhere in here there's a mountain. Where do we want it? Oh, we want it right there. I think. And I'm just pushing that paint. Look at my knife bend. I don't know if you can see that or not. You can see that knife start bending. You know you're doing right. If you break the knife, you've done a good job too. Try not to use too much paint for this. And the easiest way to form a mountain is to make sure you keep the nice top edge. And then you can just move that knife however you need to. Like that. And that gets you one edge there, and then you can just work a little paint back this way. Work that paint back this way. And we can let that mountain come all the way over here if we want to. I don't know that I need to because I know I've got trees there. But I do want another, a bumpy, right there. Right there. Somewhere there. Big old, there. Something like that. And then we need something over here. We got one little guy, but let's put us another one here. Oh, we'll just use a knife this way. Learn how to use a knife that's comfortable for you. As long as you're making, as long as you're having results that you like, it doesn't matter how you use the knife, the fan brush, the 2-inch. It doesn't matter. What matters is if you're having fun. And this is not causing you stress. If it's causing you stress, you may not want to do it. You see I ate up a lot of my pink in there. And I'm really scraping that paint right below the edge just to get rid of it. Get rid of that. Get rid of it. Get out of here. We don't want you. We don't like you, excess paint. Okay, that should do it. Set the palette down. Grab a 2-inch brush here. Figure out which one I want to use. That one. No, that's got to be white. I'll use this one. Alright. Thanks, Ben. That was a good painting you put up earlier. I really like that one. Really, really nice. Get up here and just pull that paint. but I'm really trying to keep that nice clean top edge. That's probably more important than what it looks like below. Well, not probably, it is. And then I'm going to pull this way, okay? I'm going to pull this way, and there's one little peak of our mountain. You can start seeing those little highlights and shadows and things. You go do your first mountain painting. Well, great. You'll have to show us what it looks like. If I still had mine, I'd show you mine. Mine looked awful. I know it will be better than mine. I would guarantee that. One reason was that the first mountain one I did on a pallet board, one of those, I'm sorry, canvas boards, and it just soaked in the liquid white. And I didn't really know what I was doing, all kinds of things. I still don't know what I'm doing half the time. I'm just smoothing this paint out here. There we go. And then just tickle the bottom. Tickle the bottom. Maybe let that come on down a little bit. Break the halfway point. There we go. Alright. Okay. Let's grab us some titanium white. Again, mine's good and thick, so being really thick right now is great. Right? Because I can put it up here and I can smash it out. That's white, right? There's pink and there's blue in this guy. I think I'm going to go with blue. I'm going to put just a touch. Well, it might have been too much. No, it's good. Some blue in my paint. It's rare in nature to ever see something that's completely white. White picks up everything else and reflects it back. Alright, so I'm going to scoot across that, cut my little roll of paint out. Off, out, however you want to say it. Go up here. A lot of people want to do this. Go right in like this. And come down. Actually, most people want to do this. Okay, look at the curvatures of your slopes. And this is just a standard Bob Ross mountain. But look how it curves. It doesn't go down like this. If you can envision that this mountain, you could actually ski down it maybe. You know, or you could walk up it if you were really, really in shape. So you really want to take that knife the same direction and kind of pull it with that angle. You don't want to pull it straight down. It's not a cliff. Go in a little bit with the knife kicked up a little bit, okay? And just touch right on the outside edge and just start pulling. Just start pulling. I may have gotten a little too much blue in mine, but we'll live with it. A little more white in there. Okay, go back here, grab a little more paint. I'm always a little careful on that first little area. Something like that. I think my paint's too blue. There we go. Go back over one of these little areas here. Put a little bit more bright snow on there. I'll show you how you can even. So Bob takes, what does Bob paint a mountain in 5 minutes? Take your time with it, especially if you're new. Don't try to rush through it. If you rush, you'll just make a nice cake. Look like you got a lot of cake icing on it. And I know that's what would happen because that's what I used to do. And sometimes still. Alright. We're just going to put some snow on this guy. Just a little snow. Like that. Just like that. I need a drink of tea. See what we got. Hey David. I know very little about painting, Amy. I know enough to get myself in trouble in it. How about that? But I appreciate that. I think that's very sweet. Alright, let's figure out. I want a little bit right there. Just a little. And then a little more right here on this guy. That's almost like a little, something like that. Deposit a little paint there. And this is a very, very standard Bob Rossi mountain. Nothing special. Nothing fancy. And my paint is so thick that it's thicker than the paint that's under it. But I think I can make it work. Picking up chunks of stuff. Clean that off. Alright. A little bit more white right here. There we go. And I'm just holding that basically with 2 fingers. I don't know if you guys can even see that. Kind of like that. Alright. Let's work on our shadow. Let's grab a little bit of my blue I've got some white. I'm going to make my palette really dirty now. Got 18 piles of paint on it. Now let's find us a color that's going to be lighter than that or darker. I would say lighter. So that it will show up and be a contrast, but you don't want the same color as your white. I think you guys know that this is a shadow snow. Maybe a little more, let's get a little more Prussian blue. That's an obnoxious, knock your socks off blue. Alright. Yeah. That may do it. Let's try it. Cut a little bit off. Just a little bit off. And we can start wherever. I think I need a little bit right there. Oh yeah, that'll work. And a little bit right here. And you need less of the shadow than you do of the highlights. I think that color is okay. Alright, now we got a little bit right here maybe. There. And then over here, let's go ahead and put some here and just walk it out like that. Push up into that white sometimes and then pull back. That way it doesn't look like you're just butting them right up against each other and there's a definite edge. A little bit here maybe. And then I got a good little roll here. Let's go here and push up into that paint and then just walk that down through there. And it will start, let's push it right there. We'll grab a little bit of that white. Pull it over this way and then we'll fix that. There we go. Okay. Now you got a shadow side. Isn't that something? Now Bob always said you can move mountains and do whatever. He's right. You can decide where this stuff lives. Try to find some white paint. There we go. Alright. And then on this, maybe this kind of comes back like that. Comes back like that. Maybe even there. Like that. There we go. And maybe sneak back here and just put a little bit of a shadow. Alright. I have to grab a little extra white out. See what we got here. Hey, squeaky chair. Yeah, squeaky chair right here, Steve. You can probably hear squeaky. Show pink from, yeah, you can put pink. I'll show you the easy way to do that. I went with blue. It seems like there's more blue. There'll probably be some pink from the right behind the mountain there showing on that snow. I agree. So let's do that. Just want to fix, and you can always go back and touch up little areas. I got a couple areas I don't like. But I would tell you, as you're a beginner, just try to do it once. Because if you keep touching this and touching it and touching it, it will become mud. It will become so goopy and gloppy that you will have to just basically scrape it off and start over. And that's okay too. There's nothing wrong with that. I've done it plenty of times. You might want some pink on there. Watch this. There's some pink right there. Uh-oh. Yeah, we'll just barely touch that on there. Something like that. And these paintings, just for demo, so we can throw purple on here if we want to. There's a little bit showing over there. A little bit of that pink coming over their mountain. Special request. Be a little bit right in here even. There we go. Alright. I think that's good enough for that painting. Okay. Find some brush. Do what Bob would do. Tap, 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 and then lift up. Lightly lift up. Tap. I could even go up in there and tap a little of that paint back down because it's a little thicker than normal. And it will look like it just kind of disappears there at the base. Just pick up with the angle. Pick up with the angle. Okay, over here maybe a little tapping for a shadow, and then get rid of that. There we go. Big old snowy mountain sitting there. Now that snowy mountain needs a friend, doesn't it? Needs several friends. Little maker's mark in that coffee cup. No, it's just tea, actually. It's just tea and honey. It's hard to believe, but that's what it is. Alright. I'm going to take some Prussian blue on this brush. Maybe just a touch of the mountain mix because it'll... I don't like just one color. Something dark. And then maybe find a little bit of white and lighten it down just a tad. There. Something like that. That color right there is about what I would use. And then tap it. And then push up. Push up. And somewhere here there's some little foothills that live. Where do these foothills live? Alright, right here. Yep. I don't want to kill my pink. Look, I'm intentionally leaving that pink back there. Just tap, 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 tap. Tap a little foothill on there. I'm going to have this one come in a little higher. I can meet right there. There. I'm just reloading the brush over here on the palette. Whatever. A little bit of foothills. Little stragglers there. There we go. Get rid of those stragglers. Like that, like that. That's probably what I would want. Maybe just a touch more right here. I want to make that a little bit of water right there in the middle. There we go. Yeah, I like that better. I like that much better. Let's see what I got. If I'm lazy, I'm going to grab another brush. How did I make that easel? My wife actually made the easel. She's more talented than me. But I've been meaning to do a video. A couple people have asked me. This is based on, we modified it quite a bit, but it's based on Andrew Tichler's easel. So, If you know Titchler, if you don't know Titchler, look him up on YouTube. Excellent. I mean, this is not Bob Ross art here that he does. But he inspired me to kind of think about doing this kind of easel for me, because this easel will hold an 8-foot canvas, so huge. All right, I'm going to take my brush and find where my water lives and pull down. Pull down. I'm going to push that back there. There we go. I may need to actually over here take my dirty brush that had the same color on it, just pull me a little bit more down for shadows. Oh yeah, I like that. There we go. Very easy. Nothing to it. Nothing to it. And then pull down until you're satisfied. And then 2 hairs and some air. And pull straight across. I'll go back and forth straight across, just like that. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. And I think I almost want a little bit of highlight on those guys. I mean, it's supposed to be cold and snowy, so let's make it cold and snowy. Right? I'm just getting a little blue and a little white. And I'm going to just put a faint highlight on there, a little bit brighter so you guys can see it especially. And I'm just tapping in on my palette here, nothing really that you're missing. There we go. Just a little bit of something. And you could, in your world, you could put red on these treetops or these foothills, whatever these are. And it would look beautiful too. There's no wrong way to do this. Whatever you want it to look like. Make it look like yours. There we go. Yeah, it just kind of defines those a little bit, I think. At least in my head. You gotta just agree with me so I'll feel better. Okay. Alright. What we got here? Hey, Kim. You could paint this. Honestly, look at that mountain. That's like one of my worst mountains. But it's not horrible. But Sarah, I know you could paint one just like it. You could paint one better than that one. You just have to do it. Do it over and over and over and over. Some people will get it after the 10th time. Some people won't get it until the 100th time. Some people may take 1,000 times. If you're enjoying how you're, what you're doing, it shouldn't matter. And I'm just going to I've got a little bit of liquid white and white mixed together here on my palette. And I'm going to show this on the camera here. We'll grab me a tiny roll. So what I'm going to do is just sneak right there and go, and just show you again. Put it there and go, and if you don't go, you won't get the right roll. So you got to go, put it there and go, and you get a tiny roll of paint. And this will be for our waterline. Drop that knife down just a little bit and just saw back and forth. Saw back and forth. We want it very faint because that mountain range is really far away still. Just saw back and forth. Something like that. A little bit more and do the same thing on the other side. Just kind of, you're almost just smushing the paint and kind of rubbing it into the canvas. What you're it's kind of what it is. Just do that a little bit more. I don't like that one. There we go. A little bit better. And if you're adventurous, like I am, or crazy, either way, you can always just kind of put a little bit of. I always put too many. You can put some of these things just wherever on the palette, but hopefully, and that one's almost crooked, hopefully you keep them the same, on the same planes here. They're straight, I guess I should say. They're not going to dip down like this or dip down or go straight up and down. Even though my land does that, my land comes down, you want to pull that paint, get that knife horizontal to the canvas and just kind of scoot it down across your land or right under your land. And you'll get little water lines. Or at least something that may look like water lines. And another little trick is if you know you're going to have a big tree and you're worried about these, you're just starting out, start on the area, because I'm going to lose most of that that foothill right there. So I know I could start my water line over here, and if I mess it up, scrape it off, put a tree there, because I'm going to put the tree there anyway. So got all kinds of options, right? All right. Now, trying to think what I want to do here. I may want to do something crazy, I don't know. Similar to that other painting. Let's see what this will look like. A little white, a little blue again, a little mountain mix, or black, whatever you've got handy. But darker. Darker than the other color we used initially. I'm trying to think what I want to do. Uh-oh, got another foothill right here. Or a piece of land, maybe that's living a little closer to us. I'm changing this thing up, but I'm not going to look like that one. Just something a little closer, a little darker. I'll probably park a tree on that guy. Once I get it the way I want it to look. It can look messy. Sorry for the banging. That's the one thing about the easel that we've got to work on. Alright. Now don't lose me yet. Or don't lose faith yet. Oh, shit, wrong brush. We'll pull some of that down for a shadow. Okay. Oh, better go this way, right? There we go. I just want a dark area, and then I'm going to find me a fan brush somewhere. And take some blue. I'll take both of the blues. Maybe a touch of mountain mix. And for these, maybe a touch of white. Just to tone it down. Sorry, I'm not showing you how I'm loading my fan brush. You pull both sides through the paint. Let's have a couple little trees on this little piece of land here. Yeah, right there. I'll show you a little trick about getting, I'm going to go take it all the way down. Maybe 2 trees, 3 trees, whatever we want. Okay. Alright, let's do our trees. Let's do up trees. Hey Karen, thank you. And touch, 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 touch. Now, you're going to get into this area here where the snow is, right? And you're like, oh, it's making a horrible mess. Take a tiny, one little drop of paint thinner and add it to the paint that you're using to paint the trees. No more than, maybe not even a drop. Just kind of touch your brush in there. And if you do that, it should be that that paint will now stick. You gotta be careful with that. You can also scrape the paint off. I'm too lazy to do that. I had paint thinner sitting here, so like, just do the paint thinner. These are up trees, so we'll just let that one kind of park right there. And we'll go here. Make another one. They get bigger as you go down. Leave some gaps sometimes. You know, trees don't grow all the same. Some trees will have a rough year and lose some needles or limbs and things. So what Bob would always say, It's good for Bob, it's good for Brown. I'm just smashing in some color now. There we go. A couple little trees over there. I think we're really, and then we're gonna have a couple little bushes here. I tell you what. We don't like 2 trees. We want 3 trees. 3 trees, and maybe one's a little smaller and a little crooked. There we go. We'll put a tiny bit of a highlight on these. Not too much. There we go. And what I'm going to do now is that dark paint I have there, I want to actually just kind of mess it up a little bit. Make it look like a little island or something. Since I really didn't know what I was doing, and I still don't. Alright, there we go. I like that. I like those trees over there. Alright. Hey Beverly, my trees suck, well mine do too. Don't worry about that, Ellen, and your trees don't suck, I've seen them. I have seen your trees, so no worries about your trees. They do not suck. Alright, I'm going to grab me a little bit of liquid white. Now I'm going to do my trees first. Hold on one second. Let's take this paper towel and let's wipe out some of that paint. I don't need to thinner clean it. Waste of thinner and waste of time. Grab me a little bit of liquid white maybe. And find a blue color that's a little lighter than the color there. I think that will do. And let's just put a faint highlight on these. These are still kind of far away. Just some color in there. I use liquid white there instead of thinner. Once you get used to thinner, you can use it a little more. I don't like using it just because it's not good for you. But sometimes it is helpful. Especially cleaning brushes. Just be careful with it and don't use it. Keep your paint thinner covered when you're painting. Some people have a bad reaction to that, so keep that lid if you've got a bucket, a coffee can, whatever it is. Just put it on there and there we go. You know, cover it when you're painting. And then when you need it, cover off. Alright, let's put a couple bushes over there and move on. Oh, I got some white paint and some blue. I'm getting tired of holding the easel. I'm sorry, the palette. You'll just have to trust me. Alright, now I need more white. There we go. That should show up. Oh, let's see if these will show up. We're just going to create some little things down here. Oh, my white. There it is. There we go. Alright. Some little things over here. Maybe grass or something. Who knows what it is? Little bushes. A little bit lighter. There we go. And maybe. Put a little bit more white in this so these will show up a little bit more. Create a little bit more separation into them. Alright. Maybe scratch in a trunk or two. You may see it, you may not. You guys probably can't see it on my screen. And then way best. Nobody gets mad at us. There's like a little bushy type shapes down in the water. And that's really tall, so we'll just, I don't want to be like that. Get my brush. There we go. Just lightly. Now the key. If we just think about some of these in the water. And as Bob would say, they don't have to match perfectly. Something like that. And then let's take a little white. A little bit of white and just kind of pull a little bit of a rocky something over those. There, that'll work, I think. And now the fun part. A little bit of a water line down here if we can sneak one in. Gotta use liquid white for it. A little bit of a water line. Touch it up a little bit. Could be like ice that's forming near the shores. I'm kind of tapping it on even. Never done that. It looks pretty good. Alright. There's one side. Where did my fan? There it is. Alright. I need some trees over here, don't we? We may have to put a special tree or two. Got paint all over me, which is a requirement to paint well. That's why I try it. It's not happened yet. Clean off my fan brush. I'm going to go into Mountain Mix and Prussian Blue this time. Really, really dark. Much darker than the trees over on the right. And make some trees. Some big trees. Big tree time. And when I say big, oh, I meant it. I want more blue in that. We'll use a little phthalo blue in there too. And just touch. My trunk's a little thick. That'll do. Up trees over here too. It's fun. Touch. You kind of just push up. You kind of go to the right or to the left, to the right, to the left, right, left. I'm gonna have several trees, so this one's probably gonna get big, and I'll just fill the other ones in off of this one. I'm just pushing up on the fan brush. Makes a little pine boughs, cedar boughs, whatever these are, whatever kind of tree you got. We're going to say that they're blue spruces today. This is where almost you'd be better to take like a 1-inch brush and paint these, because I've got 18 by 24 canvas here, and you can put that on there really quick. So I know over here that I'm going to fill all this in, so I'm going to cheat. Watch. I'm doing down trees on now all of a sudden, but I'm just putting the color there. It speeds things up. And now all I've got to do is go back and really focus on pushing these big branches out here on the right. Getting, we can just fill that in because that could be laying down there. Got another one somewhere here. Push up trees. Hey Hope, how is you? If anybody doesn't know Hope that's watching, you should know Hope. Hope's another CRI, that's excellent. And just a cool person too. Here we'll fill this whole canvas up with trees on the bottom. Yeah. Oh my. Massive trees. As Steve might say, I fed my trees some lasagna. Let's fill this in. And I'll go back to pushing up here. Alright. So I know I want a piece of land here somewhere so the trees actually come, maybe the tree stop there and the land is kind of like that. And you can tap this on with a fan brush, you can tap it on with a push up here, whatever, just to color it in. And you can get rough edges, just turn that fan brush in and smear the paint a little bit. Making some little things happen there. Something like that. 3 trees here, 2 trees here, I'm happy. It gives me my odd number of trees. And less work. So. But what I want to make sure, and I've been struggling with this, is to make sure that this big tree here is actually in front. It's closer to me than that one right there. So I'm going to have just a little darker paint so that I know that that one is actually the big guy. And he's closer to us. That one's behind that one. And I'm just rambling, so may not make any sense. Use a shoe? I could, couldn't I? Did you paint blue spruces? Or did I plant blue spruces? No. We planted a blue Atlas cedar though, so very blue, like a Carolina blue right now. I'm hoping it stays that color. It's really pretty. I got a little blue and white here that I've had on my palette for a while. These are a little closer. Let's just touch a little trunk, just and just a little bit. Here and there, you don't want a lot of trunk. Honestly, sometimes I don't even like putting any trunk. You always get bored. It's so easy to. Me too. Trees are fun to paint, but once you paint 5 or 6 of them, you're like, I'm ready to move on. That's why I kind of cheat over here and just threw in color and call it a tree. Now, birch trees and things like the stick trees, I love to paint. The evergreens, I painted so many, I need to do like an all birch tree painting. Alright, I'm going to grab my fan brush. It's already got some, grab me some liquid white there on that. And find me a color that I want to use. It's going to be a little darker than the highlight color for those. Maybe. It may be the same. That's probably about the same. That's what I'm going with though. I'm just going to touch here and there. And think about the highlight just kind of lives on right on the top of those. And you always want to put some in the middle. Makes the tree kind of rounded. But most, our sun's over here, maybe. So we know that most of the highlights would be to the right side of the tree. I better sneak a couple back here on this guy. before I forget him. Because remember, I said I want him in the back. He's a background tree. It's kind of mean of me to put him in the background, but that's the way I think that one should be. A little extra there, maybe. Now, bring this big guy out. Push those highlights up just like you painted the tree, and you'll be happy. And of course, they're going to get darker as you go down the tree, unless, like me, and you forget and reload your brush. But that's fine. I think that's okay. For a quick little highlight. Don't overdo your highlight. Sometimes trees just look better silhouetted than really super overly highlighted. Alright, now we gotta figure out what else we want. What else do we want? We want, I know, a little grass down here. I think I like painting a little tappy grass. I'll grab a brush, I'll grab a color that doesn't offend me. Maybe a little blue and a little white. Keeping track with this painting here. Alright. I'm just going to hold my easel and just tap. I just kind of touch and move that brush. Like that. This is one way to do grass. You can push up on this brush and you would get a different effect. The best thing you can do is experiment. If I learned anything about Bob Ross, or watching Bob Ross, is that Bob will like to play around and try different crazy things. You know, make a paint gun to put tree limbs on a tree. So do the same thing when you're painting. I want that a little bit brighter right there. I'm going to put a couple of bushes up in there. There we go. A little bit of land. Find my brush here somewhere. There's little bushy shapes here. I'll just define them with a little dark. I have to fix my grass too. Grab me another brush that's clean. I'm going to have 10 brushes to clean probably. Find me a color that I like. And just a little bit of a highlight on there. A little brighter than that. Those are really blue. Brighten this up a little bit. Alright. There we go. We'll get one that's a little brighter at least. There we go. And you can always just sneak. Oh, there's a little bit of something that lives right there. Oh my, where else could we put one? Let's get one a little brighter there. Grab a little liquid white on my brush. Go into a little paint. Oh my, let's brighten this one up a little bit. Where do we want them? Oh shoot, what if we had one right there? Just raises the grass up. We could, if we got feeling fancy, we could do this. And cut that off. Grab some really dark, the mountain mix. Spread a little bit of this on there where I scraped off. A little bit more than that. Something dark. Okay. Grab a touch of white, maybe. I'm hoping this doesn't have liquid white in it. No guarantees, I think it does. I better get me some white out. Put a little rocky area there. A boat? No boats. Hope I've told you about boats. No boats. I'm too chicken to try a boat. No boats for brown. There we go. Just a little bit of something besides just grass. Snowy rocks or something in there. And then, I think that's the right brush. Better knock that back down just a little bit. Set it into the painting. Kind of like that. Need to get right there. There we go. Knock those edges back so you don't really see them. But you might see a little bit of that snowy stuff or something. Something, right? Just like me, I'm something. Alright, a picnic table. Too cold for a picnic, huh? Come on. Let's take. Almost done here. Let's take. You know, I never softened my reflections over there. I need to do that. Let's take my little script liner and put some little things in here like this. I love little stick trees. Way more than even the evergreens. Thin that paint down a good bit. It should come right off. Maybe another one. Kind of seeing how they do over there. Something there, a little paint thinner. You gotta keep adding paint thinner. The paint thinner will evaporate. Just make sure you don't add too much. Like, I'm telling you not to add too much, but I really can't tell you exactly how much too much is. I'm really useless. Little things there. You can have as many of these as you want. I like these. It's kind of sticking up everywhere. You could even. Let's see if we can do it. I think I'm about done anyway. Oh, this one's tough. I have a big one. Comes from over there. Gotta fatten that one up. He's leaning. He can't get enough light because of those evergreens. This is just for me to play around with this tree, really. I'm cutting through that paint even. Make sure that you anchor that tree though. Something like that. One thing we needed to do, I think, is to find my brush. Some of this paint off of it. Alright. Just see if we can tickle these. Just pull down with one, I mean literally one hair and some air here. There. Sometimes I like to even pull a little bit of that white down. into the water. And then like that. Alrighty. Wispy looking clouds, that's great. Great. 30 degrees Celsius and height. Cooling off, yeah. Now this is just a simple one, super simple. If I'm picking on myself, my mountain should have come down just a little bit more, I think. Would have made it a little bit nicer. But there it is. 3 colors really. Two's really all you need. White, Prussian blue, and crimson. I had phthalo blue and I had Bob Ross's mountain mix out, but I didn't really need them. The Prussian blue is dark enough to where you don't really need it. A dark color for something like this. There she blows, guys. Mysterious mist. Well, thanks, Nick. Alright, guys. Thank you for stopping by and watching. I will post this one. I guess it posts on Facebook, but I'll post it on YouTube as well. I'm going to start streaming over there, so if you haven't liked the page on YouTube yet, or I guess what they call a channel or whatever, do that. I like the formatting over there a little bit better than Facebook. You don't have to have an account to watch, but you'd have to have an account to follow and be able to comment. So no big deal if you don't have an account. So I will always post the links here. I think I'll probably paint live somewhere again in the next few days. I've got a little Christmas tree idea if I can get time to paint it, and trying to find some Christmas music we can play without getting in trouble. Alright, everybody, thank you. Stay well, safe, and Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays if I don't see you again, but I think I will. Alright, guys, take care.